Hey there, it's Donna Ashton, and in this episode, I'm going to tell you the one thing you can do to help you sell more courses. Okay, so on this channel, I go through how to create courses, how to sell and market courses, and how to leverage your course into a passive income business so that you can continue to generate income for years to come without doing a whole lot of effort. On today's episode, let's jump into how the one thing you can do to create more and sell more courses is really going to impact your business. So the one thing you can do if you already have your course, if it's all ready to go, or even if it's not, the one thing that you can do is to get your course in front of more of the right people. So let's talk about this. So I have clients who are trying to sell their course, who have a course out there, but are not creating the income they want. Maybe that's you. Maybe you're like, I have a really small list, or I have no list. I have some following on social media, maybe some Instagram followers, some Facebook followers, maybe even a Facebook page or group, but without significant people or traffic, it doesn't matter how good your course is, it doesn't matter how cheap it is or the amazing transformation that people will get. If you are not getting it in front of enough of people's eyes, if they're not seeing it, then you're not going to sell the courses. So the number one thing you can do is to get it in front of more people's eyes, to bring them to however you're selling it. If it's on a sales page, if it's through a webinar, if you're doing it through Facebook Lives, you've got to get in front of more people. So if you're selling one course here and there, but not consistently, if you haven't really sold any and you're wondering why you have this great, amazing course, but nothing's happening, you're not getting any traction and nobody's buying, I'm 99% sure it's just not just not the right amount of traffic. Now, there could be some other things if you don't have the right offer or you don't have the right audience, but I'm assuming that you know your students, you know who needs this, and you are talking to the right people. You just need more people to do this. So let's talk about a couple ways you can do that, especially if you're like, well, that's great, but what do? I can't just suddenly do that. Like, how do I get started? So if you have some list, then, of course, you've got to be consistent with what you're doing. You've got to create relationships with the people on your list. Not everyone will be ready to buy right away. Some will, and then maybe people are ready next month or in 6 months or next year. I've had people on my list for a year, and then they show up and say they want to work with me. So you never know when it comes to the timing. But you have to put yourself out there. You have to be top of mind. You have to give some content and some ability for them to say, wow, she really knows what she's talking about. I think she's an expert and she really could help me. If you just blurt out once or twice that I have a course and nobody buys it, people are not going to remember that. They need some constant reminders. And if you have 500 people on your list, then, having some kind of weekly email, newsletter, video, YouTube, Facebook Live, or just a blog post, anything to help get in front of them and remind them why they signed up for your list. Remind them that what you're teaching is super important and how it could change their lives if they get help. Now, if you don't have a list or you just have a little bit of Facebook following or really nothing, then you're kind of starting at ground zero. So one of the first things that I recommend to my program and client attendees is to start a Facebook group, because you can start it for no cost. You don't have to sign up for an email service provider and create an opt-in form and have people sign up if you're not techie or you don't know what I'm talking about. One of the easiest and quickest ways is to start building a Facebook group, your own group. Create your own Facebook group, not a page, a group, where you can start inviting people and having them come into your group. And you can, it's like a little mini email list, and you can friend the people in your group and then contact them through Messenger. But you could use your group as a place to nurture, to teach, to help, and to show your expertise, and then also give offers like, hey, my beta course starts in 2 weeks, or hey, I have this really great course. I'd like to offer this group a 10% discount because you're members of my group. So it'll become like a little mini email list. One of the best and most consistent ways to get enough traffic in front of your course, if you're looking to really create significant income. So if you're looking for $5,000 a month, $8,000, $10,000 and up, and you're looking for replacement income, then I highly recommend you set up a marketing funnel, and that will automate what you're doing so that you don't have to be sitting there all day long, posting on social media here and doing this and sending messages over here. Really creating something that's all automated, so all that you have to do is to send traffic to it. So create the funnel, send the traffic to the funnel, whether that's through your own people you meet and say, hey, yeah, I've got a great webinar on that or a great video on that, and you put them in the funnel. Or if you decide to go with paid ads, which I recommend if you want to go quickly, if you want to build your list and start selling your course quickly, you have to have someone to sell it to. And if you don't already, then the fastest way I know is to create a funnel with some ads to funnel people over into that automatically. It doesn't have to be tons of money, but you will have some type of advertising budget, $10 a day, $20 a day, whatever you can afford, even if it's for just running it for a few weeks and then giving it a break and then starting again and giving a break. You will build your list as well as sell your courses. So you're just paying for the traffic rather than doing it through blood, sweat, and tears and time. So it's sort of the shortcut to doing all the things that you have to do, blogging and YouTubing and Facebooking and Instagramming and Pinteresting and all of that on LinkedIn, all of the many things to do to build your list, and speaking in front of people, going to networking events. All those things are great and you can still do that. But if you're like, I'm on a time frame, I need to just make this happen, and I'm not really starting with much of a list, but I sure could use one, then having ads go to a funnel is the shortcut and much easier, much more leveraged way to do it. So it just depends on your time, your goal, and your budget on how you can do this. But basically, you need to get your course in front of more people and the right people in order to sell more. So it just really makes sense. If nobody's buying it, most likely not enough people are seeing it. Only about 1% of the people who actually see your your sales page or come to your webinar will buy. So if you look at it that way, and it might sound kind of disheartening, but it's a realistic number. If you think, oh, well, I sent 10 people over there, how come I didn't make a few sales? It's just not going to happen. You may have to send 100 people to the sales page before you get one sale. So just think of it in terms of numbers and realistically. If you want to sell X amount, figure out how many sales you want and figure out the percentages. Math's not my forte, statistics, but if you use the 1% rule, then that will help you to figure out how much traffic or how many eyes you need to get in front of your course for you to start hitting your goal. So it's not that your course sucks or that you're doing something terribly wrong. It's just that you're just not getting it out there. So this is the biggest issue, right? So if you want more help with this, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I'll be bringing more information, and I have something coming up soon that will help you. This sort of Sell Your Course Bootcamp is coming. And if you want to talk with me about me helping you get things set up, look for the link below and we can pop on a chat. and I can see kind of where you are and if I can help you create the funnel, and we can work together and through one of my programs. So, all right, you guys, good luck. I hope this helped you kind of figure out where things may have been going wrong with your course, that it's not just you just need more eyes on your course. All right, any questions, please comment below, and I will see you on the next video. Bye-bye.